So here we go again, folks. My first roundup video for 2023. I mean, it's the first week of January and so much crazy stuff has happened. It's almost been like I've had to take a bit of a backseat and knock back a few whiskeys. We lost one of the greatest footballers of all time, Pelé. Jeremy Renner has this accident, which I'll get into very quickly as well. I'm on Jeremy Renner's Instagram page, and you know he's a good dude. I love this guy. I've been a fan of his since the days of The Unusuals, which I've actually found on Music Magpie secondhand. So that DVD copy is winging its way to me. I'm looking forward to watching that series again, because the only way I watched it before was through illegal downloading. But well, you know, we all have to survive somehow, right? So this is the latest picture that Jeremy Renner posted on his Instagram page. 6.4 million views and over 250,000 comments of well wishes there, which is great. Of course, I'll stuck mine up there as well. And the dude is, I mean, to understate it, he is pretty banged up. And you got Chris Hemsworth and Wokety Woke Chris Evans joining in on the comment section below. And Mayor of Kingstown season 2 is out in just over a couple of weeks' time. I've got the first season on Blu-ray. I will be watching it very, very soon because my mate Andy keeps begging me to watch it, and I'm going to. And I always trust his opinion when it comes to watching non-woke stuff. And I will give you a breakdown, a quick overview, a review of a video of mine later on, just to let you know if it's worth your time. I'm pretty sure it will be. But this is the sheriff of Washoe County. He gave a statement yesterday about what happened, or what they think may have happened with the snowcat plowing accident, but it is obviously still pending an investigation. It's being treated almost like a crime scene in some ways, which I guess is par for the course with these type of incidents.
In an effort to stop the rolling piston bully, Mr. Renner attempts to get back into the driver's seat of the piston bully. Based on our investigation, it's at this point that Mr. Renner is run over by the piston bully. An eyewitness detailed.
Now, what this sheriff is referring to is the cockpit, if you like, of the snowcat. I've got a quick video here of what that looks like. So if we just take it back a notch, that's what the piston bully is. It's actually this part here. So what I think has happened is that when Renner's family friend stepped out of the piston bully and it started to move, is at this point here where this gentleman is getting into his piston bully. Obviously the machine is not working at this stage. I think what's happened, Jeremy Renner attempted to get back into his, like the sheriff said, but I think he lost his balance. And of course, if you just look at the treadmills underneath the piston bully, I mean, you don't muck around with these things. And I think that's what he said, like the pressure of hitting Renner was over £14,000 or £140,000 worth. I mean, that's pretty horrific when you just think about it. So that's what I think's happened. And again, I'm no investigator, but you know, if you put two and two together, that's where your reason of logic lies. But at this point, I do want to say, you know, my best wishes to Jeremy Renner and his family members. Like I said, the guy's a good dude. I just hope that Disney doesn't seize the opportunity to start pushing the renovation show on Disney Plus, or bringing back a Hawkeye season 2. Now, like I said about Hawkeye, the TV series, it's not totally terrible. I think the dynamic with Renner and Haley Steinfeld is really good. If the show was just centered on them, I could tolerate it. But when you're bringing in characters like Long John Silver, Echo, and a cucked Kingpin, you've lost my interest right away. Now, speaking of losing my interest, did you know that there's a new Evil Dead film on the way? Evil Dead Rise. This is the official trailer from Warner Brothers. It's the Red Band trailer. I will not play this in full. In fact, I won't play it at all because there are some gruesome bits in there. And I tell you what, even when you go through this trailer, okay, just by stopping and starting, what is the common denominator here? Okay, let me just carry on a bit more. You know, I've gone through 3 frames already, It's the girl power situation all over again. It's shocking, isn't it? They're playing Doris Day's Que Sera, Sera, whatever will be. I think they've remixed it. But every frame I'm looking at here... Okay, I think we just had one guy there. I think I just caught him. And then now I can't find him for some reason. You know, there are some nice special effects. There are some nice moments of gratuitous violence, if you like. But that's it. And again, the reason, and you know, there's one scene at the end where the mom has turned into an evil dead person and she comes up with quite a funny line. But you see, you know, you got the little girl terrified. Evil dead, rise. That's all you get. And yeah, I mean, you get these images. So trust me, there are some gruesome images in this trailer, which is, again, with YouTube and the new demonetization policy, I don't want to get rocked for showing you the actual footage. You can watch the trailer yourself. There's no Bruce Campbell. There's no Ash. And, you know, the Evil Dead film they did before this, I think was just called Evil Dead. And Sam Raimi was behind that. I think he was a producer. That was good, especially at the very end when Ash turned up and he's like, groovy. Loved that. I thought we might get a resurgence of Ash. But no, just watch the original trilogy, folks, with Bruce Campbell. That's all you have to do. You don't have to watch this. And what's actually sad as well is that Sam Raimi is a co-writer. If you go to the IMDb page as well, it's like mainly chicks are filling up the roster for this movie. So I have no desire, no interest to watch this. It is the girl power message all over again. While it's not being presented in a very cringy way, you can kind of see what's going on there. And I'm like, I'm kind of a bit tapped out on that one at the moment. Something else that kind of made me laugh a little bit as well was Benedict Cumberbatch. He may be facing reparations for his ancestors who traded in the slavery of people. Sugar plantations in Trinidad and Tobago, I believe. Barbados, I beg your pardon. And again, Cumberbatch has made no secret of his family's sordid past. So, I mean, it's wow. I mean, it's really funny because you had Kevin Feige in that really cringe video from last year.
We're just down the block from the Dolby Theater, where audiences first met you as Doctor Strange in 2016. And since then, Benedict has turned this character into an icon, appearing in a historic 3 of the top 6 films of all time.
My God. I know these two are friendies in real life. Honestly, put them in a room together and let them give themselves frontal massages. Oh, yeah. I'm just getting carried away there for a second. Yeah, and you know what? Benedict Cumberbatch, he is a very good actor. I think he's overexposed as an actor because once you get on that trajectory of stardom, like after Sherlock Holmes, and your meteoric rise to Hollywood seems unstoppable. Well, I guess for Benedict, that might have come to a bit of a screeching halt at the moment. And look, Benedict is a wokey-woke guy, right? I mean, he did his play in London, and at the end of the play, he was shouting at the paid audience about the terrible trials and tribulations of Syria. What does that have to do with a fucking play, Mr. Cumberbitch? If paying punters are coming to watch you perform in the play, they don't expect a barrage of political abuse at the end of your standing ovation. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Whoa.
Indiana Jones and the Temple. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong film. And the Dial of Destiny. Oh God, it's not tracking well for this film this summer. It's and this is really hilarious. Apparently, the interest for this film has fallen behind Transformers: Rise of the Beasts and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. in audience interest figures. This is interesting, actually. And, oh, God, we've got Phoebe Waller-Bridge cringing in the picture. There's a better one to come, by the way, folks. And, yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the Dial of Destiny, the performance of the views on the YouTube trailer have pretty much dialed it in. Nobody is pretty interested. A report from Puck's Matthew Belloni claims Indy 5 and the Dial of Destiny significantly underperformed compared to the previous films I've just mentioned. So if you want a bird's eye view of this, 506 million views were clocked in, okay, across YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, which I think is being banned in America by Joe Biden, Instagram, and Twitter. So, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 drew in 187 million views, while Indy 5 clocked in 79 million views. So, Rise of the Beast Transformers is 506 million views. That's what I meant to say. And of course, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is front and center of this picture. Grandpa Jones is in the background because he's a grandpa now. And yeah, all the naysayers, all the people that go out on the defense of Kathleen Kennedy, God forbid I mispronounced her name in front of her and she went into a hissy fit. Wow. Yeah, people are saying that this is Kathleen Kennedy's skid mark on the legacy. I think so as well. Before she leaves this year, this is going to be one streaky brown stain across your cinema ticket stub and on the screen itself, be it the IMAX or your local Cineworld. It doesn't bode well, does it? I'm going to go and watch this film to see how bad it actually is. Apparently they are filming a brand new ending. I don't believe that might happen until I actually see confirmation from Variety or Deadline. I still think they're going to go ahead with the ending they intend to go with, which is young Indy dies, and guess who takes his place? It's going to be Helena. I want it to happen. I want it to happen so badly because it's just it's not what you deserve as a member of the viewing public. It's what the corporations deserve for thinking this is going to be a surefire winner. It's like Ezra Miller in the Flash movie. Warner Brothers are keeping him on. James Gunn, they're keeping him on. I think that Miller may have the goods on movie producers or execs within Warner Brothers who try to pass him around, if you get my drift. So we'll see if there's any truth or semblance to that story. But of course, folks, it's tradition now. You know I'm going to end on a funny note. Now, when I saw this story about the Joker becoming pregnant, I thought that, well, you know, we're like 3 months away from April Fools, so this can't be the case. But apparently, something happened in The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, a series by Matthew Rosenberg and Carmine Di Giandomenico. Is currently ongoing and suggests that the infamous Batman villain Joker is in his most bizarre caper yet. Now, apparently the person who made him pregnant for a joke is Zatanna, that hot sorceress who should have got her own film by now. But I guess Dua Lipa won't be available to play her anymore because that was the rumor. And boy, Dua Lipa in a magician's hat, fishnet tights, and a black coat covering her thick thighs would be something I would be very interested in seeing for research purposes. But look at the picture here. Our man, the Joker, has got a pot belly. I guess that's at the point of almost bursting henceforth. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You saw my video last year on transgender Joker because nobody asked for it. Somebody thought they'll make a fan film because the Joker just has to be transgender. A famously masculine-based character who definitely got it on with Harley Quinn. Even though you could probably say in that relationship, Harley was probably more of the boss, more of the alpha, and Joker was the beta, or happy to play the beta. You might want to see some kinky undertones in that role-playing relationship right there. But this is... Why am I not surprised anymore? I don't know. I just don't... I don't get it. Well, what do we have here? I think you're pregnant. I think you're right. Do we have a good OBGYN we use? Interesting the Joker would know about that kind of thing. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, the artwork is dog shit as well. I think a 6-year-old child can do better artwork than this. And I'm not talking about an Apple Mac. I'm talking about good old pencil to paper and draw me something. I bet you a youngster can come up with better artwork than this. It is low tier level artwork. Apparently, this mud-like substance comes out of the Joker's mouth and that becomes his son, who happens to be very, very handsome. What a shocker right there. But yeah, I'm glad they actually covered up his naughty bits there. And the Joker's son has makeup and green hair. I mean, you go figure. You know what? Just go back to Legacy Comics. Do what I do. Go to a Comic-Con. Get the retro titles, which don't cost you too much. Get the John Byrne run of She-Hulk, because apparently Dan Slott, the woke writer behind various Marvel titles, was attacking people on Twitter, saying that the live-action She-Hulk you saw on Disney Plus is the most comic book accurate ever. And it's not. It is not. I've read a lot of John Byrne's She-Hulk, and the way he portrays Jennifer Walters in that comic is fantastic. People forget John Byrne inserted his own image into a couple of issues, and it was really, really funny. Even his wife Beth appears in one or two of the comics talking with She-Hulk. So, I mean, John Byrne is a base Canadian dude. He knows how to draw women. He knew how to write the character of She-Hulk, brought in a brand new audience in the 90s. But you get people like Dan Slott, a retarded goblin, was the phrase that I've heard used about him, because apparently he needs to get laid. And now the Joker, one of my favorite villains, the Prince of Crime in Gotham City, is pregnant. Well, on that note, folks, we've got to send our well wishes, and I hope that the Joker has a good maternity plan in action, because I used to work in HR. And ladies, as you know, when you go on maternity leave, you go away until you're ready to come back to work. You get 10 KIT days, which is keeping in touch days. And anything that changes in your job, you have to be informed of. If your role changes, you might want to return to your role. You have to come in for an interview, or not an interview, but reassign you to a different position in your company that you've worked for so many years. So I do hope that they do have a kind of a maternity plan in Gotham City, but somehow I think the woke writers behind this comic have no idea that even exists in reality. So guys and girls, if I were you today, and you better be you today, and don't be anything else, I won't take it any other way, because as Glenn Medeiros once sung,
nothing's gonna change my love for you. You wanna know right now, I'm not trying to love you.
and on that one, folks, if I were you, and if you were me, you better check out the next video.